I had to go to Molesberg's mansion as soon as possible. To do that, I faced two problems. I had to convince Seamus Burton to give me access to the crime scene, and recover the keys that kept Green Dart imprisoned, which I accidentally dropped in the sewer. It would also be useful to visit the alley again, where, just a few hours before, I received the challenge. In the daylight, some new clue might emerge. Despite having customized it and made it ridiculously cool, it was still a wretched carrier of bad news. Hey, Wheelo. I need permission to enter, Wheelo.
The HPD is not open to civilian. You should know that full well. But if you need to press charges, let me know.
I came to visit Seamus, Wheelo. Is it necessary to be part of the CIA to see him?
Curious that you mentioned the CIA.
Oh, God. Let's just do this old school. You scratch my back, and I scratch yours. Deal?
Actually, there is one thing an ignorant peasant like you could do for me. Do you see that red sports car?
It's impossible not to see that fireball.
A fireball parked for 3 days in a spot reserved for a public official, namely me? I tried to have it towed, but they just ignored me.
I can't imagine why, but okay. I'll make that car disappear sooner than you can formulate another conspiracy theory.
If you need technical support, let me know.
I'll go check if the package I've been waiting on for 3.5 months has arrived. If I wanted to gain access to the HPD, the Roadster would have to disappear from that parking spot. Some men are able to move a car with their bare hands, as if it were a toy. I was never one of them. Firemen usually open the main valve, from which a powerful water jet would come out. Would it be useful to get rid of the sports car? I couldn't do anything with bare hands. What I needed was a tool suitable for that purpose. An inviting toolbox, stuffed with the lights of 1,000 uses. Maybe in there I'd have found something that might have helped me get rid of the illegal Parker.
Hey, you! What are you trying to do?
I was checking that all tools are in compliance with the security regulations for roadworks.
Are you a trade unionist?
No, I'm just a citizen who values the safety of our good masons risking their lives every day.
If you really care about your health, leave those tools alone.
She was planning to commit to film every detail that might be worth showing to her relatives. That fountain was horrible. I didn't know why she took pictures of it so earnestly. She was planning to commit to film. That fountain was I had nothing else to say to that fake Frenchman. Hey, Willow, do you mind if I borrow this marker for a while?
What do you have to do?
I can use it to get rid of your illegal Parker.
Alright, go ahead and take it. I prefer the old methods anyway.
I will never understand why you keep using quills instead of normal ballpoint pens.
Pens contain microchip for satellite tracking. Didn't you know that?
Once my colleagues drew a fake mustache on me with one of these. I had to go to work like that for a month before it faded away. It would have surely forced the coroner to move it away, but I would have exposed myself too directly. What I needed was a more cunning and indirect approach. In that moment, it didn't seem to be a good solution to me. In that moment, I consider myself a bad boy exactly for these kinds of ideas. Hey, boss. Some punk must have targeted your amazing brick wall. There it was. The kleptomaniac's heaven. Found an adjustable wrench. A worn out but still usable mallet. And a brand new measuring tape. It was a long and robust tape measure. When I was a kid, I used one of those to flick the light switch without being seen, making my father panic. By rotating the gear on the upper part of the wrench, it was possible to adjust it. This made it useful for anything that could be unscrewed. A heavy mallet with 2 nails, ready to be used. If the parking culprit lived nearby as I suspected, he would certainly witness the disaster that was about to befall his roadster. I let the water pressure do the rest. Now, it would just be a matter of time. The place is all yours, Willow.
Lazarus Bundy. What a chance encounter.
And things go from bad to worse. Man, I didn't realize how dirty Green Dart was. I really need to deal with something else right now. Come back later, okay?
Information can't wait. But above all, it's the American people who can't wait. They deserve to know. And right now, they are crying out to hear what law enforcement is doing to protect the great country which is America. In particular, what Lazarus Bundy is doing to prevent a dangerous criminal from continuing to slaughter innocent people.
Well, I could tell you about how my brain practically spilled out of my ears from the beating I took just to save a girl. But then your article would read, Detective Bundy loses brain and culprit.
That means you had some gray matter left when you let the Metro artist and the nightclub gigolo slip through your fingers?
Is giving nicknames to criminals the best you can do, apart from appearing just when something goes wrong?
Gotcha. You're admitting the last case went wrong. Rumor has it that this umpteenth failure was also your last failure, Bundy. Rumor is that Seamus Burton refused to have your back after Blowtorch, the monster that shook Miami, escaped capture.
Rumor is also that a certain detective could sue a certain imposter for slander.
Do you want to stand against the freedom of the press? I have the people on my side.
Are you talking about those morons that read your sensationalist and defamatory stuff?
Very well. The Red Scarf Detective insults honest citizens.
Why am I still talking to you?
Because I'm about to give you a loophole out of this spiral of failure. In 2 days, I'll be shooting a special in front of Ramos's house. A program in which I'll reveal all the info I have on live television, whether provided by official sources or not.
And I should be that official source, I suppose. You know, I think I'll respectfully decline your your proposal.
I got wind that the detective in charge of the case had voluntarily let David Ramos get away. According to a credible witness who wished to remain anonymous for safety reasons, there could be a history of corruption behind this.
I've never accepted a bribe in my entire life, Brad. You know that full well.
That is your truth. Do you think it's intriguing enough to become the preferred truth of the people? The ball is in your court, Bundy. It's up to you to decide whether to shoot it or pass. Bye-bye.
So that harpy had chosen her scapegoat to sacrifice to the national press. What was I supposed to do at that point? Would I go back where it all started, or would I let them tear me apart without even trying to defend myself?
Hey, Lars. Was Gwendolyn Pratt the woman you were talking to?
What? Don't be silly. You know Pratt avoids me like a plague. Never mind that. What do you have to say about my parking job?
Yes, an impressive performance. Although I'd have done it faster.
Stop wearing out my eardrums and grant me permission. This is my modified temporary pass. I was sure I lost it years ago.
I kept it as a symbol of your egocentrism. You're the first and only one to ever insist on having his photo on a temporary pass.
A temporary permit to enter the HPD department. Ramos, immortalized from his best side. Ramos. The notes on the bulletin board were mostly focused on possible sightings of Blowtorch, a constant in Miami in those days. The notes on the bulletin I'd never seen that girl before then. Evidently, she had replaced Burton's old secretary, who recently retired. The change hadn't been unfavorable. My colleague was visibly focused on a case of the utmost importance. It was the boss's office, Seamus Burton himself. Anytime I stood in front of it, I would feel a chill run through me. Anytime I stood in... The weird cases, aka the department that dealt with investigations into mysterious events. The real mystery was why Burton kept on investing funds in such nonsense. It was a welder, used for, well, welding. The window was made with a peculiar metallic frame. Useless junk, except maybe for one board longer than the others, and a metal tube. The blacksmith used the welder like it was an extension of his own arm. It's incredible how undervalued the skills of the working class are. As always, Miami left me breathless. I would have gladly gone to the beach rather than spending my day at the office. Well, maybe I would do it later. Miami stood out against the horizon, dazzling as always. Yeah, it wasn't exactly an easy city to live in, with its alarming traffic and no subway, but for me, it had always been a place where the sun rose. One of the many city parks where you can go jogging by the sea. Not that I ever jogged in my life, but sometimes I lurked on some bench watching the girls running. Another amazing sunny day in Miami. Yet that day the sky had, I don't know, something magnetic. Having a metallic object of considerable size in my pocket could be advantageous. The board was too long to be carried around, and I had no way to use it at the moment. The vase was held in position by a metal planter, apparently very tough. I could make out the office of Seamus Burton, chief of the department. My colleague was visibly focused. Hey there.
Good morning. What can I do for you?
How formal. In this office, the air is already stuffy despite the windows being open.
You are right. This is an office, sir. Therefore, there's a standard we must adhere to, and I can't afford to make mistakes.
First day of work, huh?
First day of internship, actually.
Terrifying. Once I did an internship at a post office, and I was forced to lick stamps for 3 months. Eventually, I acquired the ability to climb walls with my tongue.
That's not my case. This is exactly the place I'd like to be.
Are you kidding me?
The mystery-filled atmosphere, the walls soaked with a strong sense of justice, the excitement of not knowing what your next case will be.
Or if you'll be able to pay the monthly rent?
That is really not uncertain. This is an unpaid internship.
I feel you, sister. Now, can you let Burton know that I'd like to talk to him?
I can try, but I don't think the inspector will be receptive right now. Whom do I have to introduce?
What? Don't you recognize me? I'm the one and the only incomparable Lazarus Bundy!
You are Lazarus Bundy? They called you the Mutt at the academy.
Hey, if I get my hands on the ones calling me names...
They meant that when you take a case, you grab onto it like a dog with a bone and don't give up until it's stripped clean.
Oh, well, in that case, I cannot disagree.
I'll promptly announce you, Mr. Bundy. I'm sure Inspector Burton will be happy to receive you. Mr. Burton? Detective Bundy is here asking to meet with you. Can I let him in, sir?
Bundy, you said? Let him through.
All right, sir. You can go in, Mr. Bundy.
Thanks a lot, Miss... what's your name?
Alice. Alice Sharp, sir.
Alice. Nice name. Oh, Alice.
Yes, Mr. Bundy?
Please drop the formality and call me Lars. I'm not your superior.
Okay, Mr. Lars.
Bundy, I wasn't expecting to see you here so soon.
I couldn't stay away from you for more than 12 hours, old boy. How's Isabel?
She has a hairier chest than you and more pants than me. What are you doing here?
I decided to be elusive. It didn't make sense to involve the department in a story that, up till that moment, I wanted to keep private. I still can't get used to the idea of sleeping as long as I want, and I'm struggling to fill my free time.
Don't start with your games. Nobody's buying them. I bet you're here to snoop around the Malsberg case.
I did hear something in passing on the TV. What can you tell me about it?
Nothing you can't hear on the news tonight. Normal kidnapping case. A teenage victim, Catherine Malsberg. Daughter of Eric Malsberg, one of the wealthiest and most powerful men in the city. The latter detail suggests two possible scenarios. We could be dealing with a pro, or better yet, with someone desperate who will be shaking in his boots at the first sign of a threat. Imagine, we haven't even warned Malsberg of our involvement in this investigation. We just limited ourselves to putting his phone under surveillance at the request of the police. Soon we'll get a contact, the pressure cooker will pass to the negotiator, and we can go back to dealing with the scum.
But this is a strong media impact case. Not solving it would mean compromising the reputation of the HPD.
I always liked the way you turn the tables, kid, but you won't push me into asking for your help.
Don't make me beg, old man. Give me another chance.
And then it would be another and yet another. You would never give up, and I'd find myself constantly covering your ass.
If you refer to the blowtorch case, I already thanked you 1,000 times for saving my skin from that maniac serial burner. Despite the nail-biting finale, though, the girl is safe. We can discuss protocol and procedures, but at the end of the day, that's what really counts.
If you had waited for backup as planned instead of going rogue, we would have saved the girl and taken our man. Now Ramos is on the lam with a rap sheet that would put a terrorist to shame and with his goddamn blowtorch.
Rap sheet? You checked the criminal records of the tenants in that building, and they were all spotless.
Because he committed his crimes under the name Hector Manchada during his stay in Mexico. Those incompetents downstairs let a man accused of rape and violence against women slip through their hands. Idiots.
That's why you need me. I never allow such a disaster.
No, you've caused a totally different one. You've been reckless, you acted without thinking, and if we're being frank, you also got beat up like a shrinking violet. Now open your ears and listen up, kid. This old Irish ass has spent most of his life within these walls and recognizes when a career has come to an end. You can't work anymore. The sooner you accept this reality, the better.
I get it, old man. You're all heart and fatherly advice. I made a mistake coming here, and it's wasted my time.
Just hear me, kid. It's not redemption you need now.
Burton was immovable. I could usually extort any kind of favor from him, but not that time. I needed my badge if I wanted to take up the challenge posed to me. I asked myself where it could be stashed. In Burton's very own office? And if so, how to recover it? One thing was certain. I needed help. And maybe I knew where to find some. Hello.
Hi.
I know it may sound strange, but I need your help.
I couldn't refuse even if I wanted. I'm an intern, remember?
As it turns out, I am presently unemployed.
What? A veteran like you fired?
Right now, it's not important. What matters is that I can't work officially anymore, and I find myself conducting an investigation off the books. But I can't do that without my badge.
Wait, you're going to ask me to get it behind the inspector's back, aren't you? You're not really asking that of me, a first-day intern, the bottom step on the social ladder, are you?
You bet, intern.
I could possibly accept, but what do I get out of it?
Some healthy, real-life work experience.
I must warn you, though, if you call me intern once more in that tone, I'll put my fist in your eye so forcefully that it will match the color of your scarf.
I think I can resist the impulse. So, done deal?
Done deal. What do I have to do?
I need a distraction for Burton, and you would be the perfect bait.
I knew I should expect such things when I accepted the internship. Add my phone number to your contact list.
Of course. How do I do that exactly?
I see my tech skills will be very helpful to you.
Are you really interested in obtaining this job?
More than anything else. Ever since I was 10 and watched noir movies with my dad, I dreamed of investigations, spy stories, chases.
Those were only in-movie situations, but I considered it appropriate to curb my sarcasm for once. This girl could be very helpful. With such enthusiasm, you're gonna go far. Did you study anything before getting here?
I studied computer science in depth at the academy, and some kinesics.
Oh, finally, someone who might understand Weelo when he talks. I'm sure he barrages me with curse words under the guise of his exotic language.
Willow Wee is Vietnamese, not Chinese, and kinesics is a science that studies body language.
It sounds complex. What's its use?
It helps me understand if a person is being honest. I am certain it will be helpful here.
I was wondering, that white lock of yours.
Everybody asks about my lock, and nobody receives an answer. It's personal.
See you soon, intern.
Ugh.
Was it really worth it? The vase was held in position by a metal planter, apparently very tough. The vase was held. I balanced one of the boards over the void, creating a suspended bridge. I didn't exactly feel safe about it. The board seemed well positioned, but not very stable. By securing the board to the railing, the crossing would be considerably safer. Now the board was well secured on the side of the balcony with 2 nails, while the planter held it firmly in place. Unfortunately, the mallet broke during the hammering. It was obviously more damaged than it looked. The crossing would be dangerous, and the motivation pushing me to act was way too weak. Yet I felt I needed to go through with this story, no matter what. It was already the second time in a matter of days that I found myself spying on someone through a window. I hoped it would not turn into an obsession. Burton was standing there like a lump. The blowtorch dossier had been left on the desk, waiting to be consulted. Now it was up to Alice to get Burton out of my way.
Okay, now I have the chance to prove myself. I just have to stay calm, not screw it up, and maybe, and I say maybe, this month I'll be able to pay my rent. Blowtorch's mugshot gives me the chills. Despite that, sooner or later, I'll be able to hunt down such monsters. I only met him in passing, but I got the impression of a rude guy. Better not leave. They're doing construction work out there, and I might make a mess. Bundy needs my help. I have to hurry.
Hey, intern.
Yes?
Don't you see that there isn't even one coffee bean left in this office? I can't concentrate without caffeine, so try to procure some right now, intern.
I really don't like the way he keeps saying intern to me. As I already told you, my name is Alice, and unfortunately at the moment I can't deal with—
Less talking and more coffee. Come on, march.
I can't waste my time paying attention to this bore. I must put into practice what I learned in the academy and study his behavior. It's all I have for lunch. Will I ever earn a decent salary? All right, I need to read this man like a book. All right then. Let's see if all those sleepless nights hitting the books were good for something. Hey, you.
Are you talking to me, intern?
Yes, you, hairdo.
What? Hey, watch your mouth, intern, or else.
Or else what? Actually, you know what? You can get that coffee yourself, detective.
But I.
I really did it. Now let's take care of Burton, quick.
Come in.
Mr. Burton, I need a hand filling in these forms.
It should be Travisky helping you with those things. What happened to that slacker?
I couldn't find him anywhere, so I thought that if you could be so kind to...
I'm really busy right now, as you can see. You'll have to figure it out for yourself, darling.
Okay. I'll be going then.
Wait, curse me and my compassion. I'll help you, but just this one time, are we clear?
I won't disappoint you, sir. Thank you.
At that point, I needed to move at high speed. The blowtorch dossier. It seemed possible that my badge might have been temporarily left in there. And there it was, just as I thought. It was done. I was finally free to act as a qualified investigator.
I'm calling it a day, Alice. My arthritis is killing me with all this writing. Well, let's take a look at this damn dossier.
And then what would I do to get out of trouble? If Burton discovered me, all would have been for nothing. In that situation, I just had to hope that Alice would come up with something brilliant.
That's not good at all. Lars is stuck and he can't move without being noticed. I have to go in again, but this time I really don't know what excuse I could fabricate. All right, the only solution is to find something I can use as leverage to distract Burton.
Now who the hell is... Come in.
It's me again.
Blessed Virgin Mary, what's wrong now?
Well, I just wanted to...
Are you done with those case files we talked about?
I finished everything I have to do, so I was hoping that maybe I could stay here for a bit to watch you work for now. You know, to understand how a great leader behaves during his working time.
Oh, well, if you put it that way, go ahead, but don't disturb me. This Ramos thing is driving me crazy. If we don't close the case soon, the DA will demand my head on a silver platter with a nice apple in my mouth.
Such an absurd situation he's gotten himself into. But above all, what an absurd situation he's put me in! I must observe him carefully.
The best way to learn. Very clever.
Mr. Burton, can I say you look particularly stressed today?
You can say that again, Miss Sharp. This case is really taking its toll on me.
Can I do anything to help you?
Come to think of it, today I didn't have time to buy the Harbinger. I know you're not here for that kind of task, but
Don't worry. I'll stop by the newsstand and get a copy of the newspaper.
oh, if the previous assistants were like you, I'd have had fewer headaches.
Fraternize with people and they will provide solutions for you. The newspaper will block part of his view and Lazarus can do whatever he needs to. He must be Willow Wee, but I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet. Psst. Are you talking to me?
Yeah. You know, I hear there's a new wizard in Florida. He's going to open a theme park in Orlando.
I usually wouldn't stop for such an approach, but I've always had a passion for theme parks. Seems interesting.
I can send you something to look at, if you leave your email.
Of course, write it down. All lowercase. AliceSharp.hpd@gmail.com.
Perfect. I'm Gillis, by the way. Nice to meet you, Alice.
You won't send me anything weird, right?
Trust me, it will be magic.
It's Gillis, but I don't understand exactly what line of business he's in. I've heard about Lazarus Bundy's bike. Apparently he calls it Green Dart. How curious. I've heard about apparently. Good morning.
Please identify yourself and specify the reason for your visit. Thank you.
I'm Alice Sharp, the new intern. I still haven't had the chance to introduce myself to anyone.
Yes. I remember seeing your picture on the resume you sent us.
And you must be Willow Wee, the attendant for the department. I've heard a lot of things about you.
You heard about me? From who? Where?
I just mean I heard the head inspector Burton mentioning you once and...
So you heard my name mentioned once and that was enough to identify me and my role? Is that right? Tell me the truth. Who's paying you to watch us?
Oh, believe me, I'd really like to be paid by someone. Right now, the only things I'm given are cheap insults from the detectives.
You're very suspicious, intern. Very suspicious.
Well, I'll leave you to your precious job. Have a good day. Jeez, what a weirdo. He made me curious, but now I have something else to think about. Nice. Small, easy to park, and flashy. I really like that movie. I mean, that the killer was the main character was obvious from the start. But the love story behind it is very moving. I've been told there will be a chance to get my hands dirty in the HPD, but I hope they meant that in a figurative sense. It's very well stocked, but it's missing a mallet and a wrench. Strange. I thought they were essential tools for a bricklayer. It's very well... They shouldn't leave this kind of magazine in plain sight. What if a child comes by? Judging by her paleness, she must come from some East European country. He's really good. I have so little money in my pocket that he should be the one giving me some change instead. Better not. She'd surely ask me for information and I'd be trapped talking for who knows how long. Miami's fountains are more common than you might expect. When it comes to drinking water, though, the situation drastically changes. I love white. No thanks, I just dyed my lock. The news agent is a very peculiar man. Good morning.
Oh, hello, mademoiselle. Do you need something?
I need to pick up today's newspaper for Chief Inspector Burton.
Bien sûr. It's $2.50, ma petite.
Oh no, the chief must have forgotten to give me the necessary amount. Could you please put this on the HPD account?
Like your crazy colleague who never pays? Je suis désolé, but I really cannot.
I understand. Thanks anyway. Hello again.
Tell me everything, mademoiselle.
Look, I have the money, but it would take everything I have for lunch. In short, can't you meet me halfway somehow?
Pas de problème. You could help me with my little passion for painting. I'm particularly specialized in female nudes.
Here's the money.
Dommage. I never find any models.
Well, at least I'll keep my figure. And my dignity. Today's papers and magazines. It cost me dearly, but helping Lazarus could give my career a nice boost. No, I'm broke, but I have morals. I must take it to Inspector Burton as soon as possible, or Lars might be discovered. Here is today's newspaper.
You're an angel, my dear. You'll go far with your sense of initiative.
Brava, the intern. With that move, she partially blocked Burton's line of sight. I could use that to distract Burton. But not from where I was, where I'd risk making matters worse. I would have just one chance to get out of that lousy situation.
Damn call center. They won't leave you in peace even during work.
There. That was my chance.
Seamus Burton's office. Who is this? Answer. Who is this?
Lazarus!
Lars. Lazarus is far too biblical.
Okay, but tell me I didn't unnecessarily risk my career.
All went smooth as silk. Admit it. You doubted my skills.
I still do. The mental ones, at least.
Wait, what?
Explain it to me. If you didn't enter by the main door, how did you sneak into the office?
I challenge the laws of gravity in spite of the danger, sister.
So you'd run such a risk just to pursue a case like any other? You don't fool me, Lazarus Bundy. There's something big going on. And I'm sure it has to do with Catherine Molesberg's kidnapping.
You know the Molesbergs?
I don't think there's anyone in the city that hasn't heard all about it. Anyway, try not to break your neck, please. I feel like you could help me get out of here soon.
Ambitious and endowed with insight. Maybe that girl could really be useful to me, and not just as bait. After all, I really needed help. Now that I had my badge again, I was free to investigate as I wished. I just had to recover Green Dart, and the dance would begin. My beloved badge. How much abuse and harassment I was able to accomplish using that simple square of fabric. Ah, those were the days.